Hi, I'm Dr Claire Maguire, and this week I want to bring up GCSEs. So I have a 16-year-old daughter and she is studying for her GCSEs at the moment, and I'm sure if you were a parent you might have kids that are doing GCSEs, A-levels, maybe they're at university, but it is exam season. And exam season brings a whole heap of pressure and a load of stress, right? And this stress can often come not just from the child wanting to do well, but also from you as a parent, perhaps wanting them to do well, from the academic institute, so the school, college, university that they're at, wanting them to do well. So the first thing that I would really like you to do is to just take a breath. Alright, so I've talked about breathing and breath and the importance of it before. But right now, it really is one of the most important things that you can possibly do as a parent is to breathe. And I want you as a parent to breathe because I want you to slow yourself down, because we can get very caught up in the whole, oh my God, the pressure, they've got to do really, really well, they've got all this to do, this blah, 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 blah. Like literally, on a personal note, I went to a school meeting and the school teacher was talking and I was stressed within about 30 seconds of her talking because she was like up here, okay? I don't see how as a parent or as a teacher that is going to be very helpful to the student. So you need to bring yourself back down here. Easiest way is breathing, long, slow, deep breaths. Regulate your own nervous system so that you're in a good space and you're calm. And then look at the bigger picture, okay? So your child can be very focused in and they're looking at all this small detail. They have so much to learn and they kind of get so consumed, and if they don't do well, they're somehow going to be a failure. Their life will be over. They're not going to get the grades to move on, or they're not going to, their life will not be like blah, 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 blah. You get the idea, They're at this precise moment thinking that everything is dependent on the result that they're going to get. Now, for sure it is, to an extent. I'm not going to belittle that at all, but as a parent, you have the objectivity to look at this bigger picture, so you can then help them to sort of say, you don't have to get caught up in so much detail, focus on what you are really good at, let's just do small bite-sized little bits of the things that you're not so good at. Let's set a time limit, let's, chunk it down so you're not thinking that you've got to do all of physics within the space of an hour. Maybe you just need to learn a little bit about forces, so help them to break it down. Help them to not get so caught up in the drama of it all. Make them realise that they need to do well, but they don't need to kind of kill themselves in the process, okay? So you're there to sort of remind them to take a break, to breathe, to remember to eat well if you can. Anyway, as I said, I have a 16-year-old daughter. Eating well and exams don't tend to go together, but don't lay into them. Don't you put added pressure onto them. You're there to support, and that's probably my biggest piece of advice, is you're there to guide and support them, not kind of sort of add more layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of pressure. Now I suppose this is if your kid is an overachiever. If your kid is an underachiever and they're not even wanting to study, and then you can't get them to do anything, well, in which case you might have to take a slightly different tactic, and you might then need to remind them that there is an importance with it, that they need to try and do their best, that they're not having to get A stars, or, well, I know that they've changed GCSE results now, they don't have to get the top marks, but it's really good for their self-worth to actually put the effort in, and what is the amount that is reasonable for them to do. So what targets can you set for them? So in which case, you need to set boundaries, and you need to put a boundary into place for them, and for them to really sort of see that they can achieve and reach a target, so that they can feel good about themselves, and so that they sort of realise that doing well is important. Okay, so you might have got some own ideas. It'd be great if we could open up a conversation. How can we really support our children through these times? And the exams will soon be over. What kind of things could you plan for them when exams have finished? Okay, Good luck with you and your children, and I will see you next week. Bye!